train is pulling into the station. It's the Nintendo Download Express for January 31st, 2011. I am your host, Jeff Gerstmann. It is great to be here with you. Wow, yeah. Third episode, a lot's changed over the past 7 days. I've been getting a lot of attention for this here podcast, and it's been great to hear from you, the listener out there, about what you felt was a gap out there, something missing from the world of podcasts, and I'm happy to be here, filling that to the best of my ability, and also a lot of corporate interest in the show, which has been nice. A lot of athletic beverages, some sporting shoes. Some guys have been coming out of the woodwork, asking, how can we be a part of NDX? How can we get on board the train and help put some more coal in that there engine? So, we were doing some business development with some of these guys, and hopefully we can find an exciting way in the future to integrate some of that. But that's not why we're here today. We are, of course, here to talk about the latest and the greatest downloads for Nintendo platforms, and I think now it's time for us to just get right into it. Let's begin with DSiWare this week. Yeah, we got some real hits here, starting with All-Star Air Hockey from Skyworks Interactive. One player, rated E for everyone, 200 Nintendo DSi points. Remember the days of hanging around the local arcade and playing air hockey until the wee hours? I should point out that that's W-E-E. Hours, not W-I-I. That would mean something entirely different. Grab your paddle and enjoy some classic arcade action with All-Star Air Hockey from Skyworks, creators of some of the best and most fun sports and arcade games for the Nintendo DSi system. So that's, according to Skyworks, they have a pedigree. According to Skyworks, they're the greatest. I'll be straight with you. I could not name any other product that Skyworks Interactive has made, and I've been following this very closely, and don't forget anything about any week of Nintendo downloads. So, let's just take their word for it. It's probably awesome. It's probably awesome. In practice mode, choose from 8 computer opponents. In tournament mode, test your skills against all of them. Wow. All-Star Air Hockey features state-of-the-art graphics and local high-score boards. Wow, yeah. I think air hockey and state-of-the-art graphics are two things that I find go great together. It's been said time and time again that air hockey is one of those kind of... That's the bar. That's the thing that defines a platform. For console platforms, it was driving games. For the PC, it was first-person shooters. But for the handhelds, always, as far back as I can remember, it has always been air hockey. So I do not doubt it when they say that it features state-of-the-art graphics. So looking forward to that one. That's probably great. Next up, Mahjong from DTP Young Entertainment. I don't know if that's is that ludicrous for kids? It's all lowercase, so I don't know what to make any of that. 1 to 2 players, rated E for everyone, 200 Nintendo DSi points. Experience the world-famous Chinese board game. Play your way through numerous tricky levels with varying degrees of difficulty and beautifully drawn backdrops. Enjoy single-player or 2-player mode. Use powerful extras such as Dynamite, Whirlwind, and Hourglass to become the uncontested Mahjong champion. Excuse me. I don't think, okay, a lot of people claim that they're coming out with Mahjong-style games, and it's usually not actually Mahjong. Usually they mean Shanghai, like the tile, removal. It's usually the same tiles, but, you're putting them in a configuration like the Turtle or the Wizard, both popular Shanghai configurations, and then we're removing the tiles 2 at a time. Mahjong is like cards. It's like poker. It's like you have a hand and you have to make it's like bridge or something. As far as I don't know how Mahjong works. And they're calling it a board game, which I don't know. I don't know if this is real Mahjong or not, is what I'm getting at. If they just mean Shanghai, but they called it Mahjong. Also, they just called it Mahjong. I don't... All right. Moving on. Still some DSiWare bangers. My Diary TM from one player and 200 Nintendo DSi points. My Diary lets you keep your own personal diary on your Nintendo DSi system. Just open your system, tap on a day, and write a note. Set alarms for important events. You can even lock your notes away from prying eyes. Try keeping track of important dates and to-do lists. You can even personalize My Diary with 12 unlockable themes and ink colors. Use the stylus like a pencil to make notes or doodles, and then erase the bits you don't like. My Diary will help you organize your life. I don't... Why does that exist? It's like a notebook with a calendar attached to it. So it's pretty different from My Notebook, but from the developers of My Notebook. So this is unlockable themes. I'm gonna sip a beverage here and ponder the idea of I have to unlock these themes. You updated every day for a week. You unlocked Carbon. That's these must be doing okay for them. I mean, they wouldn't keep putting these out. No, wouldn't keep doing these if it wasn't, like, doing something for them, right? I mean... Alright, let's not think about it too hard, because it's just gonna... It's gonna bring me down. It's gonna bring me... 101 dolphin pets from Taeyon. One player, rated E for everyone, 500 Nintendo DSi points. So this is more than double the rest of this week's games. Not combined, obviously. That's math. Choose from more than 101 baby dolphins. What? Well, why'd you call it 101 dolphins? Right there. Out of the gate. First sentence. Totally discounting the title of your product. Does it mean 102? Does it really should have been 102 dolphin pets? Or simply adopt them all? Dude, if you adopt over 101 dolphins, like, they take cat ladies away, but if you're a dolphin lady, that's screwed up. Going to jail, dolphin jail. Discover their personalities as you feed, clean, and care for your new pets. Bring out your pet's talents by training your dolphin in a variety of fun activities. Enter your dolphin into pet shows, where that lady will will watch as you run it up and down. Like, is it like a dog show with dolphin? Is there a dolphin pet show? Does that exist? Is that on USA instead of tennis or wrestling? They put that on there? Westminster Dolphin Show. Ann Clark. Ann something Clark. Someone get my Cheap Seats Encyclopedia out. We'll get to the bottom of this. Enter your dolphin into pet shows and earn money to buy exciting upgrades, such as toys, food, clothes, and accessories. Where I come from, pet food is always an upgrade. That's, you buy a pet, they have to do well at the pet show to earn the you get to eat upgrade. Otherwise, it's the you get buried in the backyard upgrade, which, let's face it, most of them have gone that route. The more tricks you teach and the more games you play, the more fun you'll have. Again, I'm just going to take that at face value. As well as this next sentence, you'll never be bored with so many new friends to play with, pamper, and love. You will never... I was bored this weekend. If this had come out 24 hours ago, it would have been a very different weekend for yours truly, your intrepid host, me. But that's... Man. Wow. Okay. That's it for DSiWare. Why don't we take a little break and we'll come back with this week's WiiWare releases. Stay tuned. All right, we are back and just about ready for some WiiWare, some program notes. Last-minute cancellation, and it's unfortunate. Hoping to get this guest in here. Been trying for a while to get him in. He is leading open-wheel race driver and basically a world record holder across a lot of different racing disciplines of the open-wheel variety here and abroad. It's Rick the Ricker Peterson. He was scheduled to be on the show, but was called away at the last minute for some medical business. And Ricker, we hope that everything is going okay. Please do get in touch. We would love to have you back on the Express sometime soon. But why don't we get into WiiWare right now? Wow, okay. Just kicking it right off with Magic Destiny from Shanblue Interactive. All capital letters. One player, rated E for everyone, violent references. So watch out for that. It is rated E, but they occasionally say, like, and then this dude got stabbed, but they don't show it, so that's probably fine. Kids, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? 500 Wii points. Discover the fascinating world of astrology and let the stars guide you with Magic Destiny. Use the vast encyclopedia to learn all about ancient knowledge that's been handed down through the centuries. Explore your destiny with predictions. That's the full sentence. You couldn't even come up with two other things you do. It's like, learn to read your future using seashells, numerology, tarot cards, palmistry, and fortune cookies. All that from from the Wii. This is WiiWare. Wii-based fortune cookies, Wii-based palmistry. With a touch screen, I could see maybe, put your palm on the screen, hope for the best. If they're going to teach you how to read palms okay, well, that's just highly entertaining games. Again, no reason to think that they would lie. Such as Rune Block, Diamond's Link, and Stellar Memory will take you deeper into the experience. Venture into this captivating magical world. If you dare. What? I don't know if I want to go deeper into the experience, and I don't know that I would rate this voodoo mumbo jumbo E for everyone. Also, does it take into account the recent changes in astrology? These are questions that have not been answered. But it does say highly entertaining games such as Rune Block, Diamond's Link, and Stellar Memory. I bet Diamond's Link is a match 3 game. I bet Stellar Memory is memory. Rune Block, I don't know what that could possibly be. Tetris. Falling blocks. Numerology, though, that's, if you want to be a member of the Wu-Tang Clan, you should probably study that. So consider this part of your course. Just buy the RZA's book, about the Wu, and then get this, and then I'm sure you'll be replacing Capadonna as a cab driver first of all, and then secondly, maybe once you've driven around the streets and taken enough fares, you'll be able to bless the microphone. Also blessing WiiWare this week, a pair of demos. Zombie Panic in Wonderland demo version, Akaoni Studio, 1 to 2 players, rated T for teen. Mild suggestive themes, fantasy violence. 0 points. His demo. Full version is 1,000 points. A wave of zombies is attacking Wonderland. To save his friends from the spell of the amorous zombies. What? The player will have to solve the mystery of the scented dwarves. Both those in quotes. With machine gun in hand, and put an end to the evil power hidden in the castle in the northern city. Of course. I mean, that's where else would you put the evil power? Game features include cutscenes, music with lyrics, 7 playable characters, hidden levels, final bosses, different weapons, fire, demolitions, explosions, and lots of zombies attacking you at all times. Amorous zombies, the mystery of the scented dwarves. There's literally no way that game could be bad. And there's a free demo version up now, so someone check that out and let me know how great it is, because I don't know where my Wii is. No, it's over there. I recently unplugged my Wii in my quest to keep it dark at night. Too many things in here with lights on it. Keep me awake, watching me. They are watching me. All these cameras. I'd take my Xbox camera and turn it around. I'd take my Wii Speak and, well, I left the Wii Speak plugged in because it's not like anyone else has one to talk with me or anything weird like that. It's too many lights. Too many lights. Racers Islands Crazy Racers demo version from Zalag. 1 player, rated E for everyone, mild cartoon violence. This one also demo. Full version is available for 1,000 points. 6 drivers are competing on a popular TV show. An English lord, a dangerous beauty from Russia, a Mexican desperado, an eccentric Frenchman, a Japanese prodigy, and an American bulldozer. Whichever character you choose, you'll have to drive and shoot simultaneously to be the first to cross the finish line. Enjoy 20 different races and six thematic islands styled to look like a big amusement park. Unique gameplay challenges you to drive with one hand while aiming with the other. Discover tons of content, including items, trophies, and time trials. I don't. It's all racist. It's all racist. English lord. Psh, give me a break. Well, that is it for this week's releases. Now, why don't we take some time out for your emails? ndx@bxr.me is the email address for your emails. We wanted to see some of your reactions to the U.S. price that's got announced, $249. They also started talking about the eShop, which is going to be your spot for downloadable fun on the 3DS. Very excited about that around these parts, though. Word has it it's not going to be available at launch. There's been some talk that it might not hit until May in Japan, and who knows when it would hit here. That is troubling. That is troubling for us here at the NDX, but that'll give some of these great developers more time to develop 3D versions of their diary software. So I don't really see any downside to that. It's worth waiting for if it comes out great, right, fellas? All right, let's get into these emails. Chris says, as for the question, I think $250 is a little steep for the 3DS. I'd be more willing to give it a try when it's $200 or has a killer app. Yeah, a lot of people really wanted to hold off until that eShop's available. The killer app for the 3DS. Can't blame them. Cannot blame them. As far as James writes in from Austin, Texas, James T, and says, as far as 3DS price point, for me, it's a question of how strong the multimedia support is. That's a lot of clams. So he's right. It is a full 250,000 shop points, which is not cheap. For something that just plays portable games, even with this great downloadable content, if you're talking a device that can also play a wide variety of handheld 3D video, I might be listening. Yeah, I think they have stated a desire to put 3D video out on the system. And back at E3, I did see some video running, some trailer style content. So that does seem like an option for those of you that would want to get that. I don't know that the screen is I don't know if I would really want to do that, but life goes on, I guess. Chris writes in and says, clearly, the crucial functionality of the 3DS is the built-in pedometer. I'd love to see a miniature dungeon crawler where your steps become your spell-casting mana. Failing that, I'll settle for a 3D version of the greatest arcade game ever, the Vector Star Wars game. Keep the train rolling. All right, yeah, Chris in the UK. We will keep pulling the chain as we roll through your city. That's a great suggestion. Cadanino, I guess, from his or her droid, says, obviously an Animal Boxing follow-up. Hopefully, that get picked up by Nintendo. You add Jack Hanna to the mix for Jack Hanna's Punch-Out. That's, yeah, all right. We're not going to read it here, but want to thank Brett for writing a significant a poem of significant length about the Nintendo Download Express. That's great, and we have sent that along to potential business partners just to let them know, how devoted this audience is, and if they want to reach that audience through sponsorship, it is of course available to keep the train rolling. So thanks a lot for that. Alfredo from Paris, Texas, writes in and says, many people have talked about 3DS eShop versions of calendars and notebooks. Those are all good and well, but I think there's an empty dark void that could be filled by other more Apple App Store-like apps. What do you think the chances are for an official Twitter app in the eShop? Will I be able to view PDFs in 3D? Dropbox on my 3DS? No, I don't think you're going to see any of that, Alfredo. It's just not. That is not Nintendo's way. That is not Nintendo's way. It'd be nice. I don't know. A Twitter app could be kind of fun. A Twitter app would be fun if it posted all your messages as images. So you just like scribble on the screen and it posted it that way. So everyone had to click to read what you wrote. It's like, here you go. It's a picture of a penis. Rich writes in to say, I think the $249.99 price can only be justified by including a 3D remake of the perennial classic Venetian Blinds. Yeah. Yep. Brendan from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada says, Nintendo is devious. The price is a bit steep, but I'll probably still buy it. I gotta get me some 3D Zelda and Star Fox. Well, those are both games that you could wait until after E3 to pick up. They have said those are not in the launch window. Also, they're not digitally available. Do you really want to be going to a store and buying games? I mean, it is 2011. It is 2011, and there are people still out there going to stores. We're kind of past that. It's we can get these we can get products sent directly to our homes over the internet or through the mail. I have ordered soap and shampoo through the mail, and it showed up unscathed, and it's been great. I don't have to speak to human beings to wash my body anymore, and it's freedom. It is freedom. CMAC from Richmond Hill, Ontario, Canada, writes in to say, do you think the certification process for selling developers SDKs or approving games is that much easier on the Nintendo platforms compared to PlayStation Network or Xbox Live Arcade? And then it goes on to disparage a lot of developers here. Asking if we have any information on Nintendo's certification process. It's hard to say. It's clearly for the downloadable platforms, they maybe are not as picky as they are for... I was going to say that maybe they would be pickier on the Wii, but if you go, or the DS, but go to a store sometime. Look in the section. Another great reason to stop going to stores. All they've got minigame collections, and Barbie does this, and it's not pure. These are video games for moms and sisters, not for the hardcore like you and me that want to discover the fascinating world of astrology via Magic Destiny. So, as gamers here, I think it's our duty to tell them that it's not okay to put out that sort of stuff on discs, and migrate it to digital experiences where they clearly belong. Other emails here. Let's someone sent in a soundboard. Not going to go there just yet, but third-party developers or indie developers. I think we want some quality 3DS titles. Nintendo should open its doors to those crowds. It was cool when they put Cave Story out on DSi. Now, Cave Story out on DSiWare and WiiWare, so that was great. That was great. So, it's some of the greatest games of all time right here on NDX. Thanks for writing in. Right. Looking through some of these emails here. Yeah. Someone talking about the coercive forces of communism as it relates to the 3DS price. So, what? Brent in Manitoba writes in to say the 3DS is finally able to bring popular Virtual Boy games like tennis to a new generation. And if it does, that's a day one purchase for him. Asking what do we think here about Virtual Boy game downloads? I think that the 3DS is not necessarily set up with all of the control options that a Virtual Boy controller has. It's close, and I guess you could probably use the touchscreen to fill in the gaps. But for those that don't remember, the Virtual Boy had two D-pads, one on each side, which you could definitely properly emulate via the digital D-pad on the left and the four buttons on the right. It also had two shoulder buttons, I believe. Yeah, two shoulder buttons. And obviously the 3DS has shoulder buttons, but where it gets a little sketchy is that it also had four buttons that were within reach of your thumbs. They would be in towards the center, so you'd have both your thumbs on the D-pads and move them in, and there were two buttons on each side there. And some of those had different functionality. I believe one was just select and start, and then there was a 1 and 2 button, if I remember correctly. So, that would be stuff you'd have to figure out with the touchscreen or come up with different control schemes for every game, and it'd be less than ideal. And yeah, I think that's it makes it hard for Virtual Boy games to live on in any format. But a lot of those games didn't necessarily use all those buttons. I know Red Alarm pretty much used most of them, and it would be great to see a Red Alarm sequel at this point. Someone get T&E Soft on the phone. I bet a downloadable Red Alarm 2 would probably be the best possible outcome for the Nintendo eShop. I think that's something you launch the shop with. You launch the shop with that. You say Red Alarm 2, here you go. Day one, bomb dropped. Go and put your credit card and let's do this. And that is going to do it for your electronic mail. I want to thank everybody for writing in. Keep those cards and letters coming, of course, right here to us at ndx@bxr.me. And as always, send in your suggestions for the future of Nintendo downloadables. And if you've got any... Well, I was going to roll out a new feature, but I think we are going to hold off a little bit on that. We're going to hold off a week and make sure that we get the technology end of this up to par and make sure we can get our guests in here. I think, it's a little gun shy after the Rickers stood us up here. But I think we'll be able to get him back in perhaps next week. Hopefully next week if he's feeling well, if he is back in action. I know we're all hoping that that his accident wasn't serious, and I know the car looked a little gnarled up, little banged up, but not we walked away from that crash. That's a testament to the safety features in open-wheeled racing in 2011. Is that it's a kind of a non-issue, but that's a story for another time, I suppose. I have been Jeff Gerstmann, and I will continue to be him for as long as I possibly can. This has been the Nintendo Download Express for January 31st, 2011. Now get out there and buy yourself some video games, because you're going to need it, because the train ride is long and goes all night. There's no diner car, so I hope you brought some snacks, like delicious corn nuts chips. They're all the power of a corn nut, but in chip form. And again, potential marketers, that's just an example of how your brand could be integrated into this this amazing podcast that has hit numero uno on the charts with a bullet for video games, a very lucrative market segment. So please do get in touch at ndx@bxr.me. I would love to hear from all of you, and we'll be back next week with more Nintendo Download Express. Yeah!